Former Prime Minister Scott Morrison has really missed an opportunity, hasn't he? He sat down for an interview with Paul Murray. You would have seen it last night on Paul Murray Live. And he really should have apologised for his secret ministry's behaviour. He should have said sorry to his colleagues, to the Parliament and to all of us, to voters. But Morrison's really dug in on this stuff, which is bizarre. Even his strongest supporters can't defend this. He ought to just apologise and move on instead of trying to justify it. Anyway, I want to show you another part of that interview because it tells us important things about how this country operates. Morrison spoke about National Cabinet governing during the pandemic in meetings with the premiers, how it was like herding cats and how it provided a lesson on how our federation works or doesn't.
As a mechanism, it's probably the worst one you can have, except for everything else that you could do. Now, I know that, people were really frustrated about the powers and the decisions that premiers took. And they've got to be accountable for those, like I had to be accountable for the decisions that I was responsible for. But as a Prime Minister, it is the job to herd cats. And they're cats. I can't turn them into sheep or lions or whatever you want to turn them into. They are what they are, and they have the powers that they have. And you couldn't do fantasy football here. You had to deal with the reality of the powers they had, the challenge that we were dealing with, and how best to do that. And could you do that 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, that's what it was all about. And governments can't complain about high expectations when they take it upon themselves to close businesses, close borders, scare the hell out of everyone and declare that they're going to keep everyone safe. I mean, if you don't want the weight of expectations, don't impose onerous powers and crush basic liberties, pretending that a virus can be kept at bay forever. But the bigger point here is how this shows that there is plenty to learn. Our federation did not work the way it was supposed to. The federal government had too little power, the states too much. This underscores the need for a proper royal commission, a national inquiry to learn from the pandemic mistakes and make sure we can get through the next crisis without governments running amok, with more accountability, more transparency, and without handing over ridiculous amounts of power to a bunch of unelected health bureaucrats.